They say the Continental is a sanctuary, a place where killers lay down their arms, where blood debts are paused at the door, where even the most ruthless predator becomes prey to a single rule: no business on Continental grounds. But rules are only as strong as the fear that enforces them. And fear has a way of dying in the dark. There's a man who walks the corridors of the New York Continental like a ghost returning to haunt his own grave. Jonathan John Wick. He's supposed to be retired, again. The garden he tends, the memories he protects, they're supposed to be enough. They're supposed to keep the darkness at bay. But the darkness doesn't forget men like John Wick, and tonight it's come calling with a familiar face. He sits alone in the Continental lounge, a glass of bourbon untouched before him. Not because he doesn't want it. John Wick always wants the burn, the temporary amnesia that comes with good liquor, but because he knows what's coming. Who's coming? The pianist plays something melancholic. Chopin, Nocturne in C-sharp minor. Helen used to play it. The memory cuts deeper than any blade he's ever faced. Around him, the usual collection of elegant monsters. They give him space. They always give him space. The Baba Yaga doesn't need to announce himself. His presence is its own warning. She arrives at precisely 11:47 p.m. Sophia. Not the Sophia from Casablanca. This is her niece. Same fire, same loyalty, same devastating precision. But her eyes carry something John recognizes immediately. Fresh grief that hasn't had time to calcify into the cold, hard thing that keeps you moving. She sits across from him without invitation. In this world, with this man, she doesn't need one. John. I heard about Marcus. His voice is gravel and exhaustion, worn down by years of trying to walk away from what he is. I'm sorry. Her brother, not the Marcus John knew, that Marcus died years ago, a bullet through the heart for helping the Baba Yaga. But Sophia named her brother after that legend, after that sacrifice, and now he's gone too. They killed him, John, erased him like he never existed. Who? The table. She leans forward. Candlelight flickers across her face, turning her expression into something between a prayer and a declaration of war. He found something. Something they'd kill to protect, and they did. John knows this story. He's lived this story. The table, the high table, that machine that grinds good people into dust and calls it order. Sophia, if you're asking me what I think you're asking, I need the broker. I need a name. I need. She pauses, and for the first time her voice cracks. I need someone who understands what it means to lose everything. John closes his eyes. He can feel it happening. The pull. The gravity of vengeance that he's tried so hard to escape. I'm out, Sophia. I earned my way out. Did you? She reaches into her jacket, pulls out a photograph, slides it across the table. John doesn't want to look, but he does. It's Marcus, Sophia's brother, but he's not alone in the photo. There's another man beside him, younger, smiling. John recognizes him immediately, one of the street kids he used to help years ago before everything went to hell. Before Helen, before the dog, before the myth consumed the man. They didn't just kill my brother, John. They killed your past. Everyone connected to who you used to be. They're cleaning house, erasing loose ends. The bourbon suddenly looks very appealing. The broker is 2 floors down, John finally says. Room 237, he'll give you what you need. He stands, buttoning his jacket. But Sophia, if you go down this road, there's no coming back. I know. I've tried. Then maybe, she says, her voice steady as a held breath, we go down it together. One last time. John looks at her, really looks at her. He sees himself 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5, yesterday. The reflection never changes, just gets more tired. The Continental Code, died the moment they murdered an innocent man, Sophia interrupts. Or are we still pretending honor means something here? Prague in winter is a city of secrets frozen in time. John Wick knows Prague. He's killed in Prague, bled in Prague, left pieces of his soul in Prague that he'll never get back. And now he's back. They move through the city like twin shadows, Sophia with her righteous fury, John with his tired inevitability. The broker gave them the name, but he also gave them something else, a warning. Konstantin Volkov isn't just protected by the table. He's the table's architect. He designed the contingency protocols, the fail-safes. Every Continental has a kill switch, Jonathan. Every sanctuary can become a slaughterhouse with the right code, and Volkov holds those codes. So Marcus hadn't just stumbled onto dangerous information. He'd found the keys to the kingdom, the proof that the Continental's sacred neutrality was a lie wrapped in tradition and sealed with blood. We should talk about the plan, Sophia says as they scout Volkov's location, a luxury hotel on the Vltava River, all old-world charm hiding new-world surveillance. The plan, John says, his eyes scanning rooflines, counting guards, measuring angles, is that you let me go in alone. You stay here. Stay safe. That's not a plan. That's suicide with extra steps. I've gotten very good at those extra steps. She grabs his arm. Her grip is strong, trained. John, I'm not some civilian who needs protecting. You're someone who still has a life to go back to. He interrupts, turning to face her. I don't. This is what I am, what I'll always be. But you can still walk away. Like you've walked away? Look at you, John, you're here again, because walking away is a luxury men like us don't get. She's right. She's absolutely right, and he hates it. Then we do it my way, he finally says, quiet, surgical. We're ghosts, in and out before anyone knows we were there. Sophia almost smiles. When has anything in your life ever gone quiet? It doesn't go quiet. They enter through the service entrance at 2:14 a.m. John moves like memory itself. Every motion practiced 10,000 times until thought and action are the same thing. Sophia matches him step for step. She's good, better than good. Her brother trained her well. The first guard goes down without a sound, neck broken, professional, necessary. The second guard reaches for his radio. Sophia puts 2 rounds through his center mass before John can move, suppressed, but not silent. Contact in 30 seconds, John says calmly, already moving toward the stairs. What follows is a symphony of violence that Prague will whisper about for years. John Wick doesn't fight like other men. He fights like gravity itself, inevitable, efficient, beautiful in its terrible mathematics. Every bullet finds flesh. Every movement serves the singular purpose of survival and forward momentum. Sophia fights like fire, aggressive, consuming, impossible to contain. Together they carve through Volkov's security like a prayer written in blood and brass. 12 men, maybe 15. John loses count after the 7th. It doesn't matter. They're not men anymore. They're obstacles. Problems with solutions measured in trigger pulls and bone breaks. They find Volkov in his office, surrounded by screens showing surveillance footage from every Continental location worldwide. He's monitoring sanctuaries, violating the sacred neutrality with his digital eyes. But he's not alone. There's a woman standing beside him, tall, elegant, dangerous. John recognizes her immediately, the adjudicator, the high table's judge, jury, and executioner. Mr. Wick, she says, her voice carrying the weight of institutional authority. I should have known you'd involve yourself in matters that don't concern you. A man is dead, John says simply. That concerns me. One man, against the stability of our entire organization. Your organization, Sophia spits, is built on lies and corpses. The adjudicator regards her with something between pity and contempt. And what would you have instead? Chaos? Every assassin, every killer, every desperate soul with a grudge, all of them acting without consequence. The Continental Code is all that separates us from animals. The Continental Code, John says quietly, his weapon trained on Volkov, is supposed to protect honor, not hide corruption. Volkov finally speaks. His voice is younger than John expected, smoother. The voice of a man who's only killed with keystrokes and commands. You don't understand what we've built, Wick. The infrastructure, the systems, every Continental, every safe house, they're nodes in a network. And yes, we have control. We need control. Because without it, people like you would burn the world down for a dog. The room goes very still. Careful, John whispers. It's all about control with you people, isn't it? Sophia says. Control dressed up as order, murder dressed up as necessity. The adjudicator sighs. This is pointless. Mr. Wick, you will stand down. You've been excommunicado before. You know how this ends. Yes, John says. I do. He shoots Volkov 3 times, center mass, professional final. The adjudicator doesn't flinch. You've just signed your death warrant. I've signed a lot of those, John replies. I'm still here. The Continental's manager, Winston, is waiting when they return to New York. He stands in his office, overlooking the city, hands clasped behind his back like a general surveying a battlefield he knows he's already lost. Jonathan, Sophia, he doesn't turn around. Do you have any idea what you've done? We killed a man who deserved killing, John says. You killed a high-table architect. You violated continental neutrality. You've started a war. Good. Sophia's voice is steel wrapped in silk. Maybe it's a war that needed starting. Now Winston turns. He looks older than John remembers. Tired. The weight of this world finally showing on his face. John, we had an arrangement. I gave you your life back, your freedom, and you throw it away for, what? A girl's revenge? A man's justice, John corrects. There's a difference. Is there? Winston moves to his desk, pours 3 glasses of whiskey, hands them out like last rites. The table will come for both of you. Not just assassins, armies, resources you can't imagine. They'll burn everything you've ever touched just to make a point. Let them come, Sophia says. But John is silent. He's thinking about his house, his garden, the dog, another dog, the 3rd or 4th, he's lost count, waiting for him at home. The fragile piece he's built from the ashes of his life. There might be another way, Winston says carefully. The information Sophia's brother found, the kill switch protocols, the proof of table manipulation, it's leverage, real leverage, the kind that could force a negotiation rather than annihilation. Marcus is dead, Sophia says flatly. Negotiation time is over. Is it, John? Winston meets his eyes. Or is this just another cycle? Another revenge that leads to another death that leads to another revenge? When does it end? John knows the answer. It doesn't end. It never ends. Men like him don't get happy endings. They get brief intermissions between tragedies, but maybe... Where's the information? He asks Sophia. Safe. Hidden. My brother made sure it couldn't be destroyed. Then we use it, John decides. Not for revenge, for something better. We force the table to change, to remember what the Continental was supposed to be. A real sanctuary, not a panopticon. Winston raises an eyebrow. Bold, possibly suicidal, definitely interesting. It's a better plan than killing our way through the table, John says. And I'm tired of killing. Sophia looks at him, really looks at him, sees the exhaustion, the weight, the cost of being the Baba Yaga. Okay, she says finally. We do it your way. But John, if this doesn't work... If it doesn't work, he says quietly, then we go loud. Together. She nods. It's enough. They say the Continental changed after that winter. The protocols became more transparent, the oversight more rigorous. The kill switches were documented, sealed, placed under multi-party control. The high table didn't fall. Institutions like that never truly fall, but it bent. It compromised, because it had to. Because Jonathan Wick and Sophia Marcus, who'd taken her brother's name as a battle standard, had given it no choice. Some say John went back to his garden after that, back to his dog, his memories, his hard-won peace, that he tends roses now instead of graves. Others say he's still out there in the shadows between contracts, making sure the new rules are actually followed. A watchman watching the watchman. Sophia, they say, runs a training facility in Morocco, teaching the next generation not just how to kill, but when not to. Building something better from the ashes of what was. The broker, in his quiet corner of the Continental, knows most of these rumors are true. He also knows that the information Marcus died protecting wasn't just about kill switches and protocols. It was about names, faces, the people at the very top of the table. The ones who've never been seen, never been touched, never faced consequences. And somewhere in a safe deposit box that won't be opened for years, that information waits. An insurance policy, a promise, a warning. The pianist plays her melancholic tune. The whiskey sits in crystal glasses. And in the shadows of the Continental, where killers pretend at civilization, everyone remembers the same thing. Jonathan Wick tried to walk away. He really did. But the world wouldn't let him, so instead he changed the world. Not with bullets or blood, though there was plenty of both. But with something more dangerous, accountability. The screen fades to black, but we hear John's voice one last time. People keep asking if I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back, not because I want to be, but because someone has to remember what we're supposed to stand for. Someone has to draw the line between necessary evil and unnecessary cruelty. Someone has to remind the monsters that even hell has rules. And I've been to hell. I know the way. The story ends. But the legend? The legend never dies, and it just reloads.